Today I'm here with my friend Brad Bizjack, and we are going to dive into one of my favorite topics, which is how to get to your goals faster. And I would love it if you would tell our listeners a little bit about yourself. I'll let you introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, who you help, and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am obsessed with helping entrepreneurs come alive to their limitless possibilities. That's what it's all about. I love helping people that want to get to the next level of success do it faster. And for years, it was not that way. Like I was struggling in a lot of those areas. We can go into some of that today. But one of the things that I light up about is like taking someone that's in a place of limitation and taking them to a brighter future way faster than they think is possible. That's like what lights me up all day long. This success GPS metaphor is all about changing our frame of mind around success, because so many people are so attached to their goals. They're setting small goals thinking that somehow that's going to magically get them excited, or they're not being honest about where they're at, or they're miserable on the path to success. And took me a while to come up with this framework, but I was on a hiking trip and my buddy Jim was in the front seat with me. We were driving from Grand Canyon to Yosemite. He said, "Brad, success is a lot like taking a road trip." And I'm like, "What do you mean, Jim?" He's like, "If you're not excited about the destination, then you're not going to want to drive across the country to get there." I realized that success is a lot like Google Maps. Because let's say that you want to take a road trip. I live in Chicago. And let's say that I want to take a road trip. Well, if I go down to my car, Nicole, what do I need to do with my Google Maps if I want to take a road trip?
You got to know where you're going.
Yes, you got to know where you're going. And so this whole metaphor, do you want me to kind of just riff on this metaphor for a little while?
Yeah.
Okay. So this geek out about this stuff. I get so excited about this. So I realized, oh my gosh, you need a compelling destination. Otherwise, you are going to set your destination based on the amount of gas you currently have in the tank. And so I challenge everyone listening to this. Is your goal, your dream that you're going after, actually exciting you? Is it actually something you care about, or is it something that you were told to care about? Is it actually something that sets your soul on fire, that makes you want to get out of bed every day? Or is it something where you go, I don't know? Because what most people do is they set a realistic, safe goal. And what they find is that they're unmotivated to go anywhere because they're setting their goals based on past failures instead of what they want. And that's like, let's say I live in Chicago and I want to drive to Yosemite. Now, Yosemite is beautiful. I love waterfalls. I love hiking. It's amazing. It needs to be a compelling destination for me if I'm going to drive 2,000 miles to get there. But if I were to sit down and set my GPS pin based on the 350 miles I have in my gas tank available to me, meaning what I currently think I'm capable of, then I put my GPS pin in a cornfield in the middle of Iowa. And no offense to Iowa, if I put my GPS pin in a cornfield in the middle of Iowa, then I'm going to start driving and be like, I don't want to do this. I'm going to turn around and go home to everything I've ever known. And so the first piece of this metaphor is asking yourself, is my GPS destination actually something that excites me and sets my soul on fire? Or is it something that causes me to become a new person? Is it something that makes me like go, oh my gosh, like I feel my heart start beating faster when I think about it? Because if you're feeling unmotivated, or if you're feeling lazy, it's not that you're lazy, it's not that you're unmotivated, it's that you have crappy goals. And your goals need to be way bigger, because most people say, I'm going to set a goal so that I can achieve it, when really the purpose of a goal isn't to achieve the goal. It's to become a bigger version of you, a different version of you. It's for the feelings that you think the goal will bring you. More on that in point number 3. But when you set a goal for the growth, then all of a sudden, whether you get there or not doesn't really matter, because you're growing into a version of yourself that you're proud of. And so that is the very first piece, a destination that you actually care about. Otherwise, you're going to turn around and go home. Does that make sense, my friend, before we go to number 2?
Oh my gosh. Yes. And I know, first of all, so relatable, been there. Bottom line, you have to be willing. You have to be willing, or can you get ready to actually declare what you want? And that's really it.
Absolutely. And the second piece I think plays into that. And so going back to this GPS metaphor, let's say that you have a compelling destination, right? And you've gotten rid of all that crap that holds you back from the compelling destination. Well, the second piece that people don't realize is that GPS needs to know where they're currently at. GPS needs to know your exact location. And what most people do is they view their existing situation as wrong. And when you view your existing situation as wrong, like it shouldn't be this way, then what happens is you're actually telling GPS that you're further back than you really are. And so if I'm in Chicago and I want to drive to Yosemite, but I'm saying, no, I'm a bad leader, I'm a bad business owner, I can't really do this, I'll never make it happen, I'm not worthy, money is scarce, insert BS here, then GPS thinks I'm in Buffalo, New York. And so GPS might chart a course from Buffalo, New York to Yosemite National Park, but it says turn left on Johnson Street, and there's no Johnson Street when I start driving around. So what I do is I just spin in circles driving around the neighborhood that I know until I just turn back home and turn back and go back home. And so we need an honest look about our exact circumstances without attachment to what those circumstances are. Your money situation is your money situation. Your marriage, your parenting, all that stuff, it's your situation. Don't create labels about it. Don't make up stories about it, because your life becomes a reflection of your stories. Instead, and also don't inflate how you're doing either. Be objective about it. If you're saying, no, I'm totally good. Totally good. Everything's fine. But you have, you're deeply in debt. You're spending money like an idiot. You're telling yourself you're in Denver when you're actually in Chicago. So we need to be honest with ourselves about our current situation without story, without label. Otherwise, we are going to drive around aimlessly until we either A, run out of gas, or B, just turn around and go home saying it's not going to happen for me. When really GPS is doing its job, you're just telling it the wrong location that you're currently at. Because where you are right now, it just is. It's not good, not bad. It just is. And we need an honest look at that and not put labels around it so we can actually get excited about our destination.
Do you have any steps to get like critically honest about where you are without feeling bad?
I think that the first key is acceptance, that your worth is not tied to your circumstances. If you think your worth is somehow tied to how much money you have or the size of your business, then you're not going to succeed in the way that you want in business. You might achieve some things, but you're not going to succeed. You're not going to feel fulfilled. And success without fulfillment is failure. And so I think the first piece is acceptance, but I think what will actually help people the most is a tool that will help them stop avoiding the honest talk. The reason that they avoid the honest talk is because there's beliefs about what happens when they see the truth. I'd be more afraid about what happens if you don't.
The other thing I want to just say is the people willing to do this work are in like, I don't know, the 1%, the 5%, because truth is most people just sit in the comfort zone and stay numb. So just by you being here, you're starting to take those first steps. So I love that. Like, what happens if you don't see the truth? What's worse, not knowing what you have going on and staying the same for the next 1, 5, 10 years. So that's really helpful.
Love that. And it kind of leads beautifully into the third piece. And let's say we mastered those two things. We have a beautiful destination that we're going and we're excited about it. And we also are honest about where we're currently at. Let's say we mastered those two things. The final piece of this puzzle, Success GPS, is, are you actually enjoying the journey to get there? Now that's a personal development cliche. And this is where most people roll their eyes and say, yeah, enjoy the journey. And so what I mean by this is to realize that this road trip is not a straight shot. So which do you need to work on? And when you master these three things, all of a sudden success seems a lot simpler. The point is, you live in the feelings of your wishes now so that you have the emotions that will allow you to be creative enough to create the dream. And the dream, the goal, is just the cool little byproduct that comes with it. What's really the magic sauce is how you feel when you look in the mirror. Thousands of people over the years, and I've recognized some patterns, like patterns that make people stuck. And I've really kind of narrowed it down to 4 buckets. If you take a look at why do some people seem to effortlessly succeed and some people seem to struggle for years completely overwhelmed, and if these pieces of Success GPS feel like challenging to do or implement, it's probably because you're going about success from a paradigm that's limiting you. And so I've really narrowed it down to 4 different paradigms, 4 archetypes of how people approach success. And depending on the paradigm that you're in, you're going to notice different pain points come up. And so I have a totally free quiz. It takes 60 seconds called What's Your Unique Success Archetype? And it will show you exactly which bucket you fall into and what happens if you keep living that way, and then exactly how to change it so you can move forward. So no matter who you are, it's spot on accurate, and it will help you so much in the beginning steps of this to actually make Success GPS a real thing.
Thank you so much, Brad. This was so much fun. I could talk to you forever, but we'll wrap up here and we'll bring you back in the future.